Well, are we live or what? Are we? I'm sitting in my rocker chair, drinking me a Mountain Dew, seeing if this thing is going to work. I know it'll work on my phone. Hey, there, we do have one person and one thumb up. All right. Say something. That's what it says. Say something. I don't want to say nothing. Yeah, I'll say something. What the hell? Hey, there we go. Big John. Hello, Larry. I'm supposed to be doing a radio show, but I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing here. I've been up here all day long working on this thing. But we got a few people here. Oh, yeah. Hello, Larry. Yahoo. Jordan. Hello. If you want to know why I got to look, because it's a real little bitty thing. That's why I got to look at the thing. Oh, I don't have to do that, do I? I can actually probably use my phone. Let's see. Let me go to my phone and let me go to YouTube and see if I can see this. And then I can read the comments. Yep. I don't have to now stare at that like that. Yeah. I don't have to now stare at that like that. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There, I had to turn the volume down on here because I could hear the feed. There we go. I could just look at it here, see? Don't have to try to look at it over there. Anyway, I've been trying all day, like I said, trying to get this editor or this thing up so I could do a live radio show. And I'm taking a long break now. We ain't giving up, but you know, sometimes you got to walk away from something when it really aggravates you to a point where, let's see. How are you doing, Larry? I'm doing finer than hair on a frog's back. Kinda. How was your surgery? Well, it was okay. I lived through it, so I'm still alive, right? Yeah. Good evening, Jukebox. Well, good evening to you. I will be a driver again. That I promise you. I just gotta wait until I'm in cardiac rehab right now. Just went through 10 sessions. We got 36 sessions altogether, and they ain't gonna let me go nowhere, or they're not gonna let me go to work or anything until I get through with the rehab. They made that clear to me. I mean, if I say, okay, I'm not coming back no more, I'm going to work, I can get a job. I could probably go down here to the truck stop and, work the cash register or something like that. I'm not driving, right? They don't care, but I don't want to do that, right? If I go through this, because there is a block on my CDL, and all that is just notifying anybody that is actually looking at my CDL that I had heart surgery. So, um, and they're not going to release, and that's because of the physical side of the CDL. If you know what I'm saying, you got to take a physical, right? So because of that, the doctors actually they're the one who put a block on my physical because of you can't drive a big truck with a CDL without a physical. So that gives me a that's why they won't let me drive. I mean, I could drive the car. That's no problem. I can use my license like an operator's license, but and the good news is in April I won't have an Indiana CDL. I'll have a Ohio CDL. I'll be switching it all to Ohio. Okay. Now, let's see. Anybody else writing anything? Oh, hey, Larry, good to see you. Well, good to see you guys. Any questions? Anybody want to ask anything? First of all, I'm on the computer doing the show, and I'm not on the phone, so you get a bigger picture. And if you're curious where I'm at the house. That's where I'm at. And somebody going to probably say, Mountain Dew is bad for you. Well, I can't cut out all my habits. We're not smoking, right? But I am enjoying my Mountain Dew. Gotta have my caffeine. I can't kick the caffeine completely out. But I didn't feel like having a cup of coffee. I thought, well, I'll just have me a Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is bad for you. See, John Jones says Mountain Dew is bad for you. Everything's bad for you. The water is bad for you, too. It depends where you're getting the water from, but the water could be stagnant, right? Is a huge animal lover. Hey, Jukebox, are you going to drive truck? Yes, I will be driving truck again. But I got to go through my rehab. I got to get that out of the way first. And the purpose for the rehab, I mean, I'm on exercise machines, and they're getting my heart rate up to where it's got to be, like 88, 90. They just want to get the heart up, because if it's going to go haywire on me while I'm doing the exercise, I'm only one floor from the ER, and they can shoot me down there, right? We're still having issues with the blood pressure. I'm taking pills for it. We're not cheating that system at all, but it's still back and forth, up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's my curse. Yeah, is that high blood pressure. But if I take the pills for it, I can manage to get it down to 134 over 87 or something like that. But I don't take the evening pills until like 12 hours later, right? Then it climbs. It could be 179, and that bottom number could be 90 or even 100. So when I take the evening pills, again, another hour, it goes back down. I go to bed. Of course, I'm not moving or anything. I'm sleeping, right? And but when I wake up in the morning, I have that cup of coffee, and I make a little something. I got to eat something with the pills. I can't take them by themselves, or they mess up my stomach, you know. But I don't know why things want to jump up there when I'm doing something. That's crazy. Let's close that out of there. Okay. But it's high again in the morning. Now, what happened was we had bad weather. We were getting snow and everything. It was on a Wednesday. And rehab, the hospital called. They said, if you want to come in early, you can come in early. That way, because usually I don't go in until 1 o'clock, right? But I got there at 10 o'clock, and my pills didn't exactly start working on me yet, and it was high. So they would not let me exercise. And from that point, they shot me straight down to the ER, because it was 197 over 116. That's high. And they gave me a shot, and which went into an IV, and about 4 hours later, it started going back down. But they said, yeah, we may have to give you some stronger pills. I said, well, you guys do whatever you have to do. The kidneys, I'll tell you about the kidneys. They had noticed this while I was getting the heart surgery and everything. My kidneys are reading high. I guess you go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 is as high as you want to go. 6 is dialysis. 5 is dialysis. 4 is look out. You better start thinking about trying to do something. And 3, I guess a lot of people have threes. Well, I was a three, but before I got out of the hospital, it was hitting a four. And so they got me on a restrict diet. I can't have potatoes. I can't have any potassium. I can't have bananas. I can't have this. I can't have that. There's a whole list of things I'm not supposed to have. But I can't. I'm having a hard time living that diet. I really am, because who in the hell can't eat potatoes? I mean, come on. I'm a meat and potato man. Always have been. I can't have red meat, but I've been cheating that. So it is what it is. I'm just saying, a man can't live forever. I can't. I'm not going to live to be 100 years old. I know damn well I'm not going to live to be 100. Now watch me live to be 100. But I'm ugly enough as it is. Can you picture me living to be 100? Yeah, right. So, but my kidneys were up to a 4, and so I got to go in this month. They gave me some pills for the kidneys, right? So they want me to go get a blood test this month. And then March 14th, I got to go back to the hospital because they want to check my kidneys really, really good. I don't want to be on dialysis. I don't, because if I have to be on dialysis, I'm done. I mean, I'm not going to be able to drive a truck. As far as living life normal, that it just ain't going to happen. I mean, I'll be able to live a life, but I don't know for how long, you know. But and why am I telling you guys all this? Well, you guys are here. That's why you got to tell somebody something. I mean, you know, let's see. How Jake and Panda? They're doing good. They're on the bed. They're laying down. I'll get them over here on my lap here in a minute. Hey, Don Winokur is there. Sound good and looking good, little brother. Thank you so much. Steven, I thought you was going to try to come to Ohio. You may not be able to, but you always got a welcome spot here, man. Anybody that wants to drive by, just drive by, say hi. Let me know if you're anywhere around. Good therapy to talk about. And it's good therapy to talk. Now, that's another reason why I'm doing a live show. Mom and Tom, they went somewhere. They went to go get something to eat or whatever. And they did ask me if I wanted to go. And I said, no, I just soon just stay home. I didn't want to go. I ate. And I'm going to cook me something later. And but I'm talking to you guys. And talking is a distraction to yourself. In other words, you get talking about something, you forget about anything else. It makes time go a little faster, you know. Does that make sense? Give me a couple weeks, I might be able to do that. That would be cool, man. I'd love to see you. Justin Erup, hey, Jukebox. Guys, I am trying to get this radio show together. I really am. It's not because I can't financially. It ain't because I can't. I got plenty of internet. You can see that. We're doing a live show using the internet here at the house. No problem. It's just trying to get the what do you call that? You got to have a place to put the music in order to play the music. And I've had nothing but troubles with whatever I'm trying to mess with. Radio.co. I can get it. I've got it, but I can't get it all because my computer is not compatible for that system. That sucks, right? So there's another system out there, MX Cloud. I've got it. I downloaded everything, got my profile in there. But what I found out is you can't download a show. Well, Frank in Europe needs my show. So even if I do a live show on that, Frank can't get it. So Bull of the Woods. Hey, Bull of the Woods. I know that song, Bull of the Woods. That's cool. But I just wanted to sit here and talk to you guys. That's all I'm doing. We're not driving no truck. I guess we can make some Jake brake sounds. Speaking of Jake brake, let me turn off the mouse so it doesn't mess up the... Jake, come here. Come here. Now, they did get haircuts. They absolutely did get haircuts. Hey, Jake, say hi. Come on, Panda. You want to come up here, too? Come on. Get up here. I still got Jake and Panda. I ain't going to get rid of them. Oh, come on, guys. Here you go. Where are you going? You're not leaving, are you? Hey, you're not leaving, are you? I still got Jake and Panda. Thank God I had my heart attack here, though, because I didn't know what was going to happen to him if I had one out there on the road, right? I mean, seriously, who's going to come and rescue Jake and Panda for me, you know? And I don't need somebody to say, well, I'll be there, and then end up not showing up. They're shaking the computer. That's why. You guys done shaking the computer? Oh, but they just got a haircut, so yeah, I think the lady did a fine job. Oh yeah. Can you see your foot? I had a foot. What is that? I don't know what that means. Review. I had a foot. I don't know. I'll show it though. I don't see nothing bad there. There you go. Can I see your foot? No, what you want? You want to see my foot? There's my foot. There's my other foot. I can pick my legs up. That's no problem. That's what he asked. Can I see your foot? Sure, you can see my foot. Oh. All right. You are looking healthy, Juba. Hope you got another 30 years. 30 years, let's see. I'm 55 now. That would 30, 40, 50, 60. Well, that give me up to... Wait. I said that wrong. 55, 65, 75, 85. I'd be about 90 years old. I don't know if I'll live that long. I'm not trying to be critical about that or being negative about that, but nobody in my family, nobody. I mean, all men have died long before they got to 80. My dad, he was 64. My uncle Daryl was 61. My grandpa was 57. I mean, all the guys are, and maybe because they didn't take good care of themselves, but they were all working men, like my dad, for instance, he was a hard worker, and that might have what helped put him in a grave, just working too hard and not really taking care of himself. But Tracy, not trying to answer for him, but he was never actually employed with Prime. No, RST. And the other than Matt, I didn't sound like RST did him very good when this happened. Well, the only part of RST that actually had anything to do with me was Matt, was little guy. Now, did he come as a representative of the company, or did he come because he wanted to? He actually left Pennsylvania, where he lives, and he come to Toledo. That's where I was, the hospital. And he actually did show up at the hospital. Now, grant you, he did me a big favor. And the favor was he took the truck back to Pennsylvania because Prime has got a yard over there, right? So they cleaned out my stuff out of my truck, put it in a storage shed just down the road, just a mile down the road, and then took my truck and turned it in. Now, I was still hooked to a Prime trailer, but I didn't have no load. The idea was I was coming to the house for Thanksgiving, which is on the 24th. Like I said, I always get something or someone or something. Let me move something out of the way. There we go. But I come home on the 24th for Thanksgiving. And had Thanksgiving. Tom took me back to the truck that evening. That evening, I wasn't feeling too good. That was the night of Thanksgiving. And like anything else, I was trying to brush it off or whatever. But that morning when I woke up on the 25th, I didn't feel good at all. I had a hard time breathing. I couldn't lay down. I was standing up. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? And maybe I was grabbing my chest a little bit. But mom came and got me and brought me to the house. And she offered me leftovers. I didn't want no food. I didn't want nothing. And Tom found that kind of weird because I love to eat, right? And I didn't care for any food. That evening was coming around. It was starting to get dark. And I was going to have him take me back to the truck. I was going to go back to work. But yet I couldn't breathe. And finally I just said I can't breathe. I can't catch air. I can't get enough breath. And how I had to do that was I would, try to build up enough air just to say a sentence. But before I was done with that sentence, I was already out of air. And I said, I can't breathe. I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm messed up here. And it was no argument there. We didn't call 911. We didn't call an ambulance or nothing like that. But Tom took me straight to the hospital. And I kid you not, I know I probably said the story before, but I kid you not, man. Everybody in that hospital that was working at the ER practically picked me up. They put me on the table. They had to give me there's a pill that they give you when you're having a heart attack. They had to put it underneath my tongue to get my heart nitro. I think, am I saying that right? Nitro or something like that anyway. And not the exploding type, but they had to give me something to get my heart to, maybe you guys are telling me what it, yeah, nitro. They had to give me some nitro, but they didn't just put it under my tongue. They would giving it to me through an IV. Because I kid you not, Tom would back me up on this. My blood pressure was 120. That was the top number. And the bottom number was it was over 110. And that was causing me I was drowning. I was literally everything. The tissue inside my heart was filling up with water. My lungs were filling up with water. My kidneys, anything that could store water was storing water. And that's what was causing me not to breathe. And then the heart went haywire. That's when the heart went haywire. And when that went haywire, I quit breathing. I mean, I was out. They said I was out for about a minute. They got me started again, but they gave me that nitro, and I don't know how long I was inside the ER until they finally got it where I could breathe, and then they put me in ICU from that point, and that was probably way after midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, and they put me in ICU, and they kept me there all night, and the next morning, the lady talked to me, and she said, we're going to put some stents in you. That was the idea, and they put me on the table to check me out. I was only on the table for 30 minutes. I'm sorry, they keep shaking the computer. Let me see if I can fix that. It's leaning up against the bed. I think you guys can shake the bed now. But she said, we couldn't put stents in you. We got to do a double heart bypass. You're 70% blocked. If you guys know what that means. What triggered the heart attack? The blood pressure. That's what triggered it. Because it was so high that I was coming apart from the seams. I mean, it is a lucky thing that I didn't have a stroke. That's how high it was. But it never intervened with my head or my brain or anything like that. But it was tackling this, my center point. So that's what it. But anyway, they said we're going to transfer you because I was at Wood County Hospital and they don't do open heart there. But they had to transfer me from there to Toledo Hospital, and they transferred me by ambulance, and that's where they did the double heart. That's where Matt came and met me, was in Toledo. But I think he came right before my surgery. I think he came just right before my surgery. Now, remind you, I wasn't feeling too bad then, because they got my blood pressure where it's supposed to been. But still, I was in ICU. They wouldn't let me. They said I was due for another heart attack, and they didn't want to take me from that room. So they, but it was going to be on a Thursday, and they changed their mind. They said Friday we're going to do the double heart bypass. So I wished it had never happened because it sidelined me from everything. I mean, from my job to everything, you know. Um, Arizona Trail Junkie. Hey, I know. Uh, Cable. I'll think of it here in a minute. I know who you are, though. I promise. Kathy. That's not at. That's not at. Oh, you were lucky, man. You could have been dead. You know, they told Tom and Mom both, and they didn't tell me this, but this is what they told them, because Tom said he was going to have us taking back to the truck. Said if he would have actually took off in that truck, you're absolutely right. I would not be here talking to you right now. I would have died. I wasn't dead yet, but I was damn near there, right? Because they didn't say I died on the table neither or in the ER, but they said I quit breathing, and I don't know. I just see I wasn't awake during the operation. I wasn't awake during any of that, but my mom was there, and she actually took that picture when I first came out of the ER. They had a hose down my, well, they were breathing for me. And the idea, what they did in the ER, now I do know this because they told me, but they did what you call a lung heart machine. They stopped my heart. What else they did? They took a vein from my left leg and they took one from my chest. And then they did, it's called cabbage. And they did two grafts to put, it's a double heart bypass, right? And then as soon as they got done doing all that, of course they cut my chest bone, and we still got the scar for that. I don't know if you can see that, but it went all the way up here and all the way down here, and that was the hardest too. After it was all done, because they had me tied down because I had all them hoses on me. I kept trying to wake up. I couldn't talk because I had that breathing hose down me that was doing the breathing for me, and finally they got that out of there. And I was for a long time I was still part of that anesthesia or whatever that had my brain messed up, because when I woke up, I didn't think I was at the hospital. I didn't know where in the hell I was, and I kid you not. I woke up. I said, "Where in the hell am I?" And she says, "You're at Toledo Hospital." And I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "The nurse." I said, "No, you guys are here to kill me." And I believed that. I thought, "What the hell?" And of course, as the medicine wore off, that was wearing off. And then I think 3-4 hours later, I started to recognize where I was and everything. Then I was apologetic to them, because they were telling me what I was saying. And it's like, oh man, I made an ass of myself. And she said, in your case, it was totally accepted because we knew why. But they still had my arms tied down because they was afraid I was going to do something stupid, like try to jump out of bed, and I wouldn't have been able to, or pulling hoses out. And they said that was, or worse, hit a nurse, so they were making sure. But I just wasn't in my head. I said, it's a wonder you didn't call the white coats. And she said, no, it was the medicine that was causing that. I said, has that ever happened to anybody else? And she says, yeah, because you don't know your surroundings when you wake up. You don't know, because that 3 hours, it didn't feel like a sleep to me. I mean, have you ever went to bed and dreamed? I didn't dream. I guess I did some talking, though. She said, you're a talkative person. I said, what the hell are you talking about? She said, when we put you under, you was free, you was able to talk. I said, I hope I didn't embarrass myself. And she said, no, you were just rambling. It wasn't that they could really understand me, but it was the anesthetic that had me under. And they had some paralytic or whatever, where they paralyzed you in certain places, you know. It was crazy. David Cable, that's it. I knew that name would pop in my head. That's who I'm talking to. Arizona Trail Junkie. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I get these sometimers, and I get them pretty bad sometimes. Do you believe in God? I did when I was on that operating table. God, I hope I make it through this. And they give me time to actually say a small prayer to myself. But what I was telling you, they put me in a room, and that was the waiting part right there before the ER. And I talked to the guy who was going to put me under. I did talk to the doctor. I talked to a couple nurses. And the next thing I know, they were coming in. They were getting ready to push me into the ER. As soon as I got there, they gave me a pill. He said, I need you to take this pill. So as soon as I took that pill, I tell you what, I don't know what the pill was, but I wasn't awake much longer after that. I was just out. And I don't remember anything until the very, or after it was all over and they had me in the ICU. I was waking up from the anesthetic, a general anesthetic. But I was, see, and this is a story that I could probably tell over and over. And I know the last time I did a live show, I did talk about this. And, I can't help it, you know. Um, but I said to myself, if I start doing YouTube again, and maybe I'll tell you some stories of trucking, you know, stuff that has happened out there. But this is probably the scariest thing because I never thought that was going to happen to me. I never thought for 1 minute. And what makes it the worst is when you are a truck driver, you're not married. I have no kids. I got two little dogs that are with me. I mean, it's just me. I mean, if I was in Effingham, Illinois, if I was anywhere and that happened, I can call 911. But what happens to Jake and Panda? And that was my biggest worry. Not about me, but what's going to happen to Jake and Panda? You know, that was my biggest worry. It wasn't afraid that I was going to die, or it wasn't afraid that it was about what was going to happen to Jake and Panda. You know, do I have anybody out there that I could honestly call and say, can you do me a favor and tell them where the key is outside, and can you unlock my truck, and can you get Jake and Panda? Because they would have survived that. You know, I always made sure they had plenty of food and water, so they would have survived that. But to get somebody to come to the truck and pick up Jake and Panda, I didn't want them to go to a what you call a doggy jail, whatever you call that. Sounds like they had some They did. They they definitely had some entertainment with me because I wasn't real quiet. You know, first of all, when I woke up after the surgery, they finally had the tube out of my mouth so I could talk. I was thirsty as hell. I mean, I was really thirsty. And she says, we can't give you nothing to drink right now until a bit later because of the medicine. It's going to make you sick if you drink water. We can give you some ice chips. And I said, so they started giving me ice chips. I said, this ain't enough. I need a glass of water. I need a water. So she said, all right. And she did. She got me some water, and I gulped that down. She was right. I got sick, you know. I said, you know, I feel kind of sick. And she said, I told you. But I was thirsty. I just couldn't get enough water. Even after I got sick drinking that first thing of water, said, well, we'll give you another. I said, can I get another water? And I got sick 2-3 more times before I was able to finally hold that water down. But I was thirsty. And then, you know, trying to move. I don't know how many of you guys ever had your chest bone cut, but that was a hard one right there because I couldn't move. They would not let me do this with my arms. I couldn't do this with my arms because they wired my chest shut. the chest bone, they put wire, titanium wire. It's not regular wire, but it the bone actually will mend around that wire, and the wire will actually, and it's always going to be there. I mean, even if I go get an X-ray, if it's a straight in X-ray, it's hard to see. But if they get it from the side, you can see the loops of the wire, if you know what I mean. But the wire will always be there, but it will never set off. They assured me if I went into a courthouse or something that has alarms, it will never set that off. They assured me that. So I sure not hope not, because how am I going to explain? Oh, I had a heart attack and I got wires in me. I said, no, you won't have to do that. I do. She's 76, and uh, evening, sir. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, thank you. Very glad to see you feeling better. I am feeling better. I'm feeling more. I went and took me a long walk the other day, and it's cold outside. So, but I went and took me a long walk, and Mom said, walk as far as you want, and if you can't make it back, you call me, and I'll get the van and come and get you. So I had um, a goal. I was going to try to walk down to this little grocery store down here, and I walked as far as I could, and next day I made it. I made it over there. That's honestly how I got my Mountain Dew. I got the Mountain Dew, and when I got back, I walked back. That's almost 2 mile walk, and Tom said, "You walked all the way over there and back." He got kind of mad at me a little bit. He said, "That's a little far, don't you think?" And I said, "Well, I made it. Don't do that again. That's too far. Don't walk that far." He was afraid somebody was going to hit me. He thought for sure somebody was going to hit me. I said, there was only 3 cars on the road the whole time I walked. Nice to catch you live. Yeah. Oh, you definitely sound more like yourself. I sound, yeah, and that's why I wanted to get back on the radio. I'm just having a hard time getting on there. But we keep working at it. Keep working at it. We'll be on there. It's something to do, right? I need a hobby. I need something to do. I'm not smoking no more. If I'm downstairs, I'm driving them crazy because I'm downstairs and it's like I used to sleep downstairs because they didn't want me climbing the steps to come up here until I finally, I think 2 months in after the surgery, I suggested, I said, can I go upstairs? Can I sleep up there? Because it gets loud down there. And mom says, you think you can walk, you can get up there? I said, yeah, I know I can get up there. So I climbed the steps and I made it. She said, all right, that's fine. She made the bed for me and everything. And she says, okay, you're good to go. But she said, the other bed downstairs is always if you can't make it up here. And I said, well, I appreciate that. But mom, she doesn't go to bed early. She's a more of a night person than a day person. But there's times when she'll stay awake till midnight, 1 o'clock, watching TV, and sometimes she falls asleep in her chair. And if she does that, don't tell mom this, but she snores a little bit, right? I said, Mom, you snore a little bit. She said, I don't snore. So I took and recorded her snoring a little bit, and I played it back to her, and she said, who's that? And I said, that's you. And I still don't believe I snore, but she's okay. I mean, she gets her times when she and Tom they get into a little argument. It's like I stay out of it. I just whatever. I come upstairs, go outside, just let them do their thing. They don't need a third media getting inside that argument. Yeah, they are good people. Tom actually turns 81 in March, and Mom turns 77 in May. And of course, I'll have a birthday too coming up in April. I'll be 56. Mom says, you're not old enough to say, and I said, well, I feel like I'm getting older. She says, you're not old enough yet. Which is kind of funny. I laugh at her when she says that. Be thankful you are still with your mother. She sounds like I do. Yeah, I thank God every day that she is still here. Tom too. I mean, if they were both gone, um, it's not that I don't have the money that I couldn't get my own place, but it wouldn't have been a good thing to do right at first when I first came out, probably. But Mom and Tom, they let me live in their house uh, while I'm healing, and and I guess if I ever get too much for them, and I told them, let me know. They ain't never gonna say get out of here. You're too much. They're not gonna do that, you know. Oh, do, 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 do. Can you ever go back to OTR trucking? Yes, I can. I just gotta wait until I got 36 sessions altogether in the cardiac rehab, and I don't know what comes after that, but they're lifting my restrictions one thing at a time. I can lift now. They lifted my restrict. They took a X-ray of my chest. They wanted to make sure I was healing all right, and they said, "Yeah, you're healing really good." So they lifted. I don't have that chest hugger anymore. They said I didn't need that no more, and I can lift. I can drive now. They said I could drive if I wanted to. Not a truck, a car. I could drive a car. Uh, Pretty much that was it. But they still told me to be careful because the truth is, if I got hit hard enough in the chest, they could still break where they cut. You know what I'm saying? But they said just be careful. You know. Oh, JBW Vlogs. Hey, brother. YouTube don't notify me if you're going live. Well, they don't really notify too many people. I didn't know I was going live neither, really, until I started going live. But I'm impressed. I mean, we got 77 people in the house. We got 52 thumbs up. What I need is some more subscribers, though, because I understand I'm not in the truck. I know that, but we're actually we're the popularity of my channel is sliding down. It's like, all right, what do I have to do? I'm thinking all the time, what do I have to do to get the channel back up? Maybe you guys have some ideas. I thought, well, I don't know what to do. I can't just get back in the truck right now, so you ain't going to see no trucking videos. I can only sit here and talk to you guys and tell you about me and how I'm doing and about the surgeries. And now I did it twice. Now you guys aren't. I can't be talking about this every time I do a live show. So I thought about maybe telling you guys some stories about back in 28 years of trucking, guys. That's I was in that truck for a long time for different companies. Started out with Gainey Transportation. Now you guys know Gainey. If not, they were on Clay Avenue in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And so I started out with Gainey. And let me see if I got. Matter of fact, I do. I just won't be able to see, but I can use my phone. Here, I can do this. Let me. Oh, do do do. Let me go down. Oh, I'm not ignoring nobody. I promise. I'm just looking for something. I'm just looking for something. Hopefully, I can. I got pictures from back in the day when I first started driving truck. I mean, I got a lot of pictures. I don't throw pictures away. Now, tell me if you guys can see that. That's a 379 Pete. It's white. I don't know if that's gonna, but it's white in color. And that was my truck at one time. But that wasn't my first truck. That's not the truck I was going to show you. Oh, right here. Now I hope this actually does. No, too much glare. But that was my Gainey truck, FLD Freightliner. That was a 2083 Freightliner, and that was me standing, next to the truck. You can go to my Facebook page. I show all them pictures all the time. You can go to my Facebook page if you want to see pictures of Jake and Panda. Uh, I got two. I got my personal page, and I also got the Trucker Jukebox Radio Network, and I share a lot of things on that too. Hello from Missouri, Pam Wright. Yeah. I'm a Missouri kid myself. My sister still lives in Missouri. I went to school in Bunker, Missouri, which is in Reynolds County. We had Centerville next, not too far from us. Ellington, Missouri. Now, my sister lives on B Highway, and she's got an Ellington address, but Ellington School. And we lived right there by Tom Sauk. If you don't know what that is the highest mountain in Missouri. Tom Sauk, the reservoir, the dam. Matter of fact, you get on 21 highway, get up on a certain hill, you can actually see the dam. Of course, the dam bursted, I guess, 3-4 years ago? It actually cracked and busted open, and Johnson Shut-In, I guess, got flooded out, and some people died because of that. But that was like a 98 lake reservoir, and they would pump enough electricity in that dam to power part of St. Louis, Missouri. That's what they would use that for. And I don't know how it really busted, except for they said there was a weak spot in the concrete, and it actually broke open. And anybody that lives in Missouri in that area, they probably know about that. But Andrew Lunch, I'm watching you in Ireland. Look up Truck Nettie Kelly. I'll do that as soon as I'm off the show. I will do that. What did I do before trucking? What did I do before trucking? Let me think. I started trucking in, I want to say 93 maybe. And then I did some factory jobs and stuff, but I was a job hopper. We had just moved up here. My mom had divorced my dad, and she moved to Indiana. Was it Indiana? And I worked in a few. I was a taxi cab driver. Now that probably 7 years. Because I couldn't hold a factory job. I didn't like it, But I drove taxi cab. I drove for Ace Cab, Yellow Cab, Mishawaka American Cab. 3 of them. I did that for 7 years. And before that, I lived in Missouri. And if you guys know anything about Reynolds County, Missouri, there's only really 2 kinds of jobs to get. Sawmill. Dad worked at Sarco. He worked at the mines. And what I mean by that, he worked at the smelter plant. And they would mine lead. And then they had ore trucks that would come in, pick up the lead, and then take it to the smelter, and whatever they do with it. But that's what he worked at Sarco at that time, and I worked at a sawmill. And I kid you not, this is all true. My mom would actually verify this. The sawmill was powered by a diesel engine that came out of a big truck, and that ran the saw, the edger, the rollers, and of course they had a bin for the slabs, and that was my first job, picking up the slabs, putting them in the bin. Get so full, you band it down, you put 2 bands on it, forklift come around, pick up the slabs, and then they load them onto a truck, and that went to the charcoal mill. And that's how Reynolds County made their charcoal. And but that was my first job, was working in a sawmill. But there was times in the summer when Dad would he was a construction worker, a carpenter, and he knew how to build houses and stuff. So he would get involved with that, and I could take a break from the mill and help him as a laborer, But that's what I did. Yep. But when I started driving cab, I thought uh, it was an easy job, kinda. There's a story behind that. Now, why did I quit driving cab to go into truck driving? That's another story to tell you. I was almost, I was getting robbed. I'll tell you that story here in a minute. If you guys are interested in hearing that story, that is. I don't want to bore you guys. Me neither. I hate factory jobs. Just being stuck in a building all day and doing the same thing, like Creation Windows. I worked for them, and my job was they would come, all the windows would come down the rollers, and my job, I worked at the bander, right? I would grab these windows, put cardboard at the ends, and put it in the bander, step on the thing, it would band it, and then the other side do that, and then put it inside a rack, and until that rack was full, and then the forklift would come. I hated that job because the clock was right there on the wall, so I kept watching that clock, and that clock moved slower than any clock I've ever seen. But when it was time to eat or break, but when it was time to go home, it was like, let's get the hell out of here. But I worked there probably 3-4 years. I'd say about 3 years, but I hated that job. I hated it, Player 2, Freightliner FLDs are great trucks. Yeah, that's what my first Gainey truck was. It was a 1983 FLD Freightliner. And it didn't have a big sleeper. Right behind my seat, immediately behind my seat, was probably a 4 or 5 inch little bench. And then right behind that was my bed. So I could actually turn around and touch my bed from my seat. That's how close my bed was. So it wasn't anything like my Peterbilt or even the Freightliners. The Century Freightliner was the next truck that they gave me. That had a closet, that had a drawer, that was a sleeper. I thought that was a mansion, Nope, haven't heard nothing from RST. To tell you the truth, there's a phone call. If you remember, Matt did a live show on his channel, and he called me, and he put me on his show. I don't know if you guys heard that, but you go into Matt's last live show, and you'll hear that interview. He talked to me, and I talked to him back, and he had me on his show. But I knew I was on his show because he told me. Did you lose your finger in a sawmill? Nope. That was I worked for TMC, a flatbed company, and it was cold. And I picked up John Deere. It was John Deere metal. Well, it was steel, right? Steel rails. That was on my trailer, and we had to go to Iowa with it and offload there. But you couldn't go inside the building to take the tarps off, so you had to do it outside. No big deal, right? I just took my you know what I'm talking about, and then it took off the tarps and then started roll. But I was outside too long. It was actually -14. It was wintertime. I was outside too long, and actually it took this finger too, but they managed to save that. I don't have much feeling in that finger, but they couldn't save my my middle finger. It turned black. I got back in the truck, and I didn't even know it until later. My finger started turning black, which is a sign of frostbite, right? And I took my truck right to the hospital. Matter of fact, I did. And because I had a flatbed, I wasn't exactly 13.6 high. I wasn't that high, but I didn't go underneath the roof of the ER. And then, of course, somebody was yelling at me, and I said, I'm frostbite, man. I can't. So ended up somebody moved it and actually parked it, but I went in and they had to amputate my finger. So that's because of frostbite. That's what took my finger. Don't ever stay outside with your hands uncovered, because that could happen. Oh, Michael, Marion. Hello, Jukebox and Jake and Panda. They're here. They are actually laying down. It's getting dark in here, too. Computer ain't really showing it, but I don't have the light on. What's the craziest thing you've seen on the road? Oh, the craziest thing I ever seen on the road. Let me tell you. I don't know if you call this on the road, but I'll tell you a story. I was up in Vermont. I had to go to Vermont and to deliver a load, and I was with Gainey then, and it was winter time as well, and I got up there, and the road kind of 69 or 87 or whatever, but they were going to split, and I had to stay on the road next to the river. There's a river there that is dividing New Hampshire and Vermont, and I had to go up there. But I went up there so far, and you know what I'm talking about. You got to piss something bad. You really got to pee, and it's like okay. So I pulled off on the side of the road. Now I had Pooh Bear at that time. I didn't have Jake or Panda with me, but I did have Pooh Bear, and I go in between the tractor and the trailer, right? And I'm on the passenger side because I don't want any traffic that does go by and sees me. And next thing you know, not Jake, Pooh Bear goes crazy. He starts barking, and I don't know what he's barking at, but I can hear it behind me. I heard a snort. What the hell? And I turned around. It was a moose, and he wasn't afraid of me at all. Matter of fact, he was more curious because it's dark. It's early morning. It's still dark. I'm not kidding. I'm 5'6", but I cleared my catwalk. I literally jumped, got on the other side of my truck, and got inside. And Pooh Bear is still barking at this moose. And I kid you not, I got pictures somewhere and I'll find it. But I didn't have much of a door left on my passenger side. He kept headbutting my door because Pooh Bear kept agonizing him. Kept barking, and that moose just kept. Pooh Bear, stop it, stop it. We got the hell out of there. But he took my mirror off and he crammed that door. I had to get a hold of the company and said, this is what happened. I had to use my spot mirror on the hood to see anything on my my right side. And I told him what happened. I said, a moose did all this damage. So they had to send me to Freightliner to have that repaired. True story. Scared me to death. It's a wonder I didn't have a heart attack that morning because I saw that moose. I wasn't going to stand there and ask him what his name was. I cleared that catwalk. Yeah, I thought I was going to get killed too. He just, because it was still dark. See, he couldn't tell who I was, but he knew I was something. And he was curious as hell with me, but Pooh Bear just kept agonizing him. He just kept barking and barking and barking, and that moose that didn't sit well with that moose. I bet Jake and Panda misses the truck life. Sometimes I think they do, and sometimes I don't know if they do. Because listen, it's not that I didn't take them out when they had it coming. I would stop and take them out, but they were leashed, right? Here at the house, they don't have to be leashed. They have a big backyard, and they can actually go outside and anytime they want. If they gotta go, they let me know, and I take them out. Um, so I'm not sure if they're really wanting to go back to the truck or if they actually liked it because they got 4 other poodle dogs to play with. So I'm not sure. And then let's not forget the baby that we had to deliver. That's another story. I tell you what, and what happened there, we were stopping to take a little bit. Well, back then we didn't have to take a 30-minute break. That was on if the driver wanted to, but I wanted to take a break. And there was also a lady that was in the car, and she kept blowing her horn. We're outside. I'm walking. Again, I had Pooh Bear then, and I was walking Pooh Bear, but she kept blowing her horn. But she's sitting there. And so I took and we walked over and I said, are you all right? Need any help or anything? She says, I'm having a baby. I need help. Can you call 911? All right, we called 911. So that's what I did. I took my phone, called 911, told them where I was. And I think New Hampshire Well, we were in New Hampshire. I'm trying to think of the name of that town, but I told him where I was, and and that there's a lady going, and her water had already broke, and she said my water already broke, and she's still sitting in the driver's seat of her car. So I said her water already broke. She's sitting down. Well, can you get her? Can you get her in the back seat, or can you? And I said, well, ma'am, they want to know, can you lay down in your back seat? And she said, she was trying. She got up, and I had to help her, of course. And then the baby's coming out. She's standing up, and the baby started to come out with her standing up. And I said, oh my God. And 911 was like, what? And I said, she's having that kid right now. She's standing up. So we had to get her in that seat. And then they're telling me, we can help you here. We can give you directions how you do this. It's like, oh no, I'm not sanitized. My hand's not. I didn't wash anything. It's like, you got to deliver this kid. You know. It's like, I tell you what, I have never been more nervous in my life about anything until then. And they came pretty quick, and thank God they did, because the kid's already out. I mean, by the time they got there, the kid's out. And it was all nasty. Still had the umbilical cord, had everything. And they said, we can take over from here. And I said, well, where can I wash my hands? You know, the only thing I had was bottled water in my truck. So I took bottled water. But to be fair, they actually put alcohol on my hands, and they gave me something else to clean, because I had no gloves. I had nothing. And but there was a letter at the Gainey yard, and I was told when I got in there to give it to me, and it was from the father of her, of the wife or whatever, but the father of the baby, and he thanked me for helping. And it's like, well, let's not do this again, though, okay? True story again. I mean, I like the funny stories about you training other drivers. But I think I'll save a few of these for when I do another live show. But I do have a couple more funny ones. I got some serious ones too. I seen an accident one time. I mean, the truck actually came off an overpass and just barely missed us, come down and just smacked on the road. And of course, you know, called 911 again. There's an accident, and I said he come off the bridge, and he come down, and of course it smashed the truck in the smithereens. It took the cab completely off the truck. It busted the fifth wheel off the frame. The fifth wheel was still hooked to the trailer, and I mean, it messed it up. It broke the back on the trailer. The trailer was, and it had freight on top of that, so freight everywhere. Yeah, that was a mess. Now that was bad. I mean, the driver died. He was the only one in the truck, but it was no survivors on that one. That made me sick. That made me sick, because I never saw anybody in real life pass away like that, you know. Let's hear about the taxi story. Oh yeah, I did promise you that. I was getting robbed. Now, it was with I was with Yellow Cab at that time, and I had to pick up two parties at Corby's Bar. Now, I know you don't know where Corby's Bar is, but that's on the corner of Niles Avenue and LaSalle Street. Now, if you ever saw the movie Rudy, the football movie, South Bend and all that, if you ever saw that movie, in one scene, they were actually at, let me turn on the light. Hold on. It's getting dark in here. Let me turn on the light. Ugh. There. Now we got some light. But in that movie, they show you where that was. But anyway, I had to go to the bar and pick up two parties. And they were going out to Knollwood, which is way out in the country. And the address that they had gave me, they were still building on that part of Knollwood. And I told the guy, I said, there's no houses in that part of Knollwood. It's a subdivision. It's like a big fancy for richy people place, like big fancy houses. And but that part of Norwood wasn't built, not yet anyway. So I told him, I said, I need another address. So they gave me another address. Still, it wasn't corresponding where they wanted to go because there was nothing there. So Ruthie, you guys know Ruthie. Some of you guys might know her. She was my dispatcher over at Ace Cab, not Ace Cab, a yellow cab. And she said to me, make sure you get your money up front. Anytime anything, because that was going to be a $20 ride. That was going to be a lengthy ride, you know. So she said, just get your money up front, and wherever they want you to drop them off, drop them off. So I told the guy, I said, well, before I can go, you heard my dispatcher, I got to have $20 up front. So no problem. They gave me $20, and we started rolling. Now, if you know anything about South Bend, Indiana, you got to go right by Notre Dame, and we're on State Road 23. And if you take that out far enough, and some of you truckers, if you ever on the toll road and you're driving into Mishawaka, you'll see a big mall. That's University Park Mall. But I got out there by the mall, and I heard something hit the floor. Something had dropped on the floorboard, and I heard that guy clear as a bell. And I don't think he meant for me to hear it, but he said, pick that up. We'll use that when we get him out there. It freaked me out, dude. All the cabs that the company had, they used to be police cars. They would always buy the Indiana State Patrol cars or the county cars, and they wouldn't take nothing out. They still had the muscle and the bustle behind the engine. And when I heard that, I freaked out. I wasn't going no further. I turned around and I just stepped on it. I'm on 23, and all the cabs have a button on the floor. It looked like a dimmer switch, like you would use to dim your lights or brighten them. But what it was it would open up the mic. You didn't have to touch that radio. It would open up the mic, and Ruthie and all the other drivers can hear what's going on. And I told Ruthie, I said, I'm being robbed. I'm being robbed. And she said, the two that you picked up at Corby's? I said, yes. And the guy in the back, one of them kept yelling at me, stop, you better stop this car. And I said, I ain't stopping. I said, you better look how fast I'm going, because if you shoot me, I'm taking you with me. And Ruthie would call the police, but every time they saw me, I passed them. And they wanted me to slow down so they can catch up. I said, they're going to shoot me if I slow this car down. I can't slow it down. And I said, matter of fact, if I don't see no police before I get to St. Joe River, if you know St. Joe River, it cuts through South Bend. There's a sharp curve. I said, I'm jumping that river. I'm taking these guys with me, and I'm jumping that river. They freaked out because they knew you can't jump that river. I said, I'm jumping that river. And I'm doing 110? I mean, I'm flying. And I just told the guy, I said, you want me to stop this thing, man? You give me that gun right now. And they kept arguing with me. We got intercepted, all right, by Notre Dame police. And guess where he puts his car? He puts it right in the intersection. I can't stop. And I'm just blowing my horn, and because that cop is standing right beside his police car. I can't move. I can't turn. And I'm blowing the horn and he did. He finally, he didn't move the car. He moved himself. And I hit that broadside, I guess what you call. I hit his squad car, but the one guy back there actually went over the seat, went through the windshield, and peeled him like a banana. It killed him right on the spot. And the other guy, he was still alive, but he didn't know. And I jumped out quick as soon as because I put my seatbelt on. I mean, I put my seat as far back. I knew what was going to happen. I put my seat back as far as I could. I put that seatbelt on, and I hung on. As soon as we hit, I was okay. I was able to get out and run toward the police car, but he didn't know if I was the robber or not. And he's got the gun on me. I said, no, I'm the cab driver. The guy you want, the other guy's in the back seat. They were actually wanted by the police for already robbing two different places, and they were going to try their luck with me. I said, okay, I'm done. I ain't doing this crap anymore. And that was the last night. That was my last fare. And I said, I'm done. I'm not driving cab anymore. And I kid you not, I went to State Road 23 to USA Truck Driving School or whatever. And that's where I I took off getting my career as a truck driver because I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting robbed. Guys, I only had maybe $43 on me, minus, no, $43 plus I had their 20. I wasn't getting my ass shot off because of what, 63 bucks? That's a true story too. That's actually in the archives. That's in the newspaper. A cab driver almost got robbed, but he used his car. That car was my best friend that night. Because if it wasn't that if I didn't know how to drive, because they were just waiting for me to slow down. If I slowed down, he'd have shot me. They weren't going to get hurt. I mean, the car would have came somewhere and just stopped and they'd have jumped out. But I wasn't going to give them that opportunity. Can you drive Greyhound bus? Yeah, but I got to get a public passenger CDL. I just got to get that endorsement on my license. I don't have that. See, you don't need a CDL to drive a taxi cab. Matter of fact, all you need is a public passenger chauffeur's license. But you don't need a CDL. Now, if you're driving a bus, help me out here, guys. See if I'm right about this. I think 25 passengers or more, you got to have a CDL, a public passenger CDL. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that was the Rudy. Then it was a movie that they were actually making, and at that time I was actually driving cab, and they used Corby's bar as a scene in there in the movie. And if you remember that, that's where I picked them up at. That was the bar I actually picked them up at. If we go to war in Russia, are you ready for the fight? Yeah, well, they have to come here though, because I don't have that much gas in my car. That's a joke. That's a joke. Well, you're sounding good. Seems like you got a little spirit back in your voice. Yeah, I do feel better, Jerry. I do. I feel a lot better. I mean, if I could talk for a living, I'd probably be ready to go to work right now, right? But got to have spirit. I mean, my spirit wasn't broke when I had the surgery, but I tell you what, there's a few times I didn't feel too good, if you know what I mean. I was healing. The chest bone hurt. Um, I mean, they did a good job. They gave me pills, pain pills when I first got home. If I really felt anything, I took the pain pill, which I did. They gave me a bitch witch. They gave me something that was really strong. I didn't realize what it was until later, because when I ran out of that pill, I tried to get a refill, and they said, we can't refill that. I said, why not? She said, it's a bitch witch. I said, what are you talking about? She said, that's what we give that particular pain pill. That's what we give anybody when they first go home, because we're not there. And if you really got pain, that will stop the pain. Matter of fact, that pill was meant if the bone re-broke, I could take that pill and I'd be laughing about it. That's how good that pill was. And I said, damn, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have, because a couple times, well, I don't want to say I took more than what I should. I took what was recommended, but I'm thinking maybe I could have actually skipped one night on that pill and just maybe try a Tylenol, because I didn't realize there was no refill on it. But she said, nope, that's now you got to go to Tylenol. I said, Tylenol ain't going to work. And so they did end up giving me another pain pill. I think it was 25 or 30 milligram. And it worked, but it was nothing like that pain pill they gave me when I first came home. Jukebox, would you like to have your own trucking company and have your own drivers? No, not with not with the way things are being run today. No, I don't want that headache. Not at this age. Now, if he'd asked me that when I was 21 or 25, that would have been a possibility, because I had piss and vinegar in me back then. I mean, but today, I just got over one heart attack. I don't want another one. I mean, you know what I'm talking about with the politics and everything going on. And no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to do that. I gotta move that. I got something there in the way. Something always got to get in the way. There we go. We love you and your dogs, and you so fun of watching to watch. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I got more stories. I think we're going to start telling you some stories and things that's happened in trucking. And I've had students. I was able to do that, and it was kind of fun. I did that for 2 years. I trained, and sometimes you get somebody and it's going to be all right, and then sometimes you get somebody and I don't know what it is about. See, they're supposed to size you up with somebody. And let me explain what I mean. I was a smoker, okay? So don't give a non-smoker to a smoker and expect them to ride together for 4 weeks in a truck. It ain't going to happen. Well, I didn't know that because I just thought automatically that he was a smoker because that's how they're supposed to sign you up. But when he saw me pull my cigarette out and start to light it up and crack my window down, he says, I don't allow smoking around me. I said, you're not a smoker? And he says, no, we just left the driveway. I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine. You got to respect them no matter what. But I said, there's a driveway just down this boulevard that's big enough for us to turn around. Let's go back to the yard. And so that's what he did. I let him start us out driving, right? So he took us back, and I said, we need to go in and see Linda. Linda was the boss, or what you would call it, that set the drivers up, or the new driver students with the trainer. And so we went in there, and I said, you realize he's not a smoker, right? She said, no, I didn't know that. And I said, I am a smoker. I said, and he doesn't smoke. I said, I can't take him with me. He doesn't smoke. I said, come on. And she said, all right. And this guy, his name was Mark. I won't tell you his last name, but his name was Mark. And she says, well, Mark, you either got to go with him or you got to wait for another trainer. And he said, when will that other trainer be here? And said, he'll be here tomorrow afternoon. We'll put you up in the motel until tomorrow afternoon, and then he'll come by the motel and pick you up. I said, see, Mark, that'll work for you, right? He said, yeah, that'll work for me. So ended up taking him. Now, I did take him to the motel out of favor because I had to go by there anyway. And I didn't smoke while I was inside the truck. I just took him over there, dropped him off. And then I had to go back and pick up another student. And I said, is he a smoker? Yeah, he's a smoker. I said, all right. And everything worked after that. But they're supposed to size you up with the people that you're supposed to be picking up. I mean, not to be racist or anything, but come on, let's try to. And that was one of the big questions. Are you racist? I said, no, I'm not racist. And I picked up another student, and he happened to have been black. And he said, you don't mind black people in your truck? And I said, what kind of freaking statement is that, man? I said, you want to learn how to drive a truck or what? And he says, yeah. And I said, no more of that kind of crack ass. Get inside. I said, I don't care. You're a human being, and you bleed the same as I do. I said, I don't care what color your skin is. Let's go to work. And he was great. 4 weeks, nothing happened. We got along just great. And I have to tell you, he was one of my best students. So after it was all done, we shook hands, and then he had to take that driving test, and they were impressed. They were very impressed. I said, and I got the phone call. He called me. He said, I passed. He said, I passed that road test. Oh, thank you. I said, you're welcome. And we still today, I got him in my phone. Still today, he's my best friend. And we still talk to each other. And when he found out about my heart attack, of course, he calls me, oh, man, I hope you're all right. Oh, man. But they're supposed to size you up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Are you and Rudy still friends? Yeah, he called me the other day. He did. He called me the other day. And we were talking. And he asked me how I was because he saw the video. He knew I had a heart attack and everything. So we had a good hour talk. Everything was great. We should call Matt, see how he is doing. He won't answer. I bet you he won't answer. We could try it, though. You think we should try it? I think we should. I could probably do that. I don't know if I don't know. His system is probably different. I don't know if you guys could hear him. I don't know. I don't know how that would actually work out. You want to try it? You guys think I should try it? Okay, we're going to try it. Let's see what happens. I think I have to cut the comments off though, because see, I got the comments here, so I don't have to try to read these down here. So let's see what happens. All right, man. Oh, yeah, I'll put him on the speaker, is what I'll do.
Mr. Larry.
I am doing a live show on YouTube, and somebody had said, we should call Matt, see how he is doing. And I said, you think I should? You guys want me to try it? And Michael Marion says, yes, let's try it. And now you are on YouTube for a minute on my channel. Everybody wants to, yeah, everybody wants to know how the hell you're doing.
I've been doing good, man. I'm staying busy, driving myself nuts,
No, you're not supposed to do that though. You got enough. You got a wife and the kids to drive you crazy.
Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing finer than here on a frog's back.
Yes sir.
Yeah. Did you guys see his video? He's got Evil Knievel.
Who's got Evil Knievel?
You do.
I got. Oh yeah. Well. Lorenzo's an Evil Knievel in training.
Well, he's doing a good damn job.
He's getting there.
Yeah, speed buggy.
Yes, buddy. we actually just signed him up for Little League tryouts here in about a month. So we're gonna get him all practiced up and see if he makes the team.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. How's the weather in your area?
Oh man, it's fucking freezing over here today, boy. Holy cow.
Yeah, it was 9 this morning here.
Yeah, it was over here. It was like 2.
That is cold.
But it's supposed to start warming back up tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll be in the 50s by the end of the week.
Yeah, which is crazy in itself,
Right. No, they just wanted me to call you, and I didn't know if I could do this. I tell you how I did it. You're on speaker, and I'm right up here against the computer, so
that make sure
they make sure they can hear you. So, you got any good advice to tell these crazy bums that are listening to us?
Yeah, smile. It's easier to smile than it is to be sad.
That's right. That's good advice.
I tell you right now.
All right,
and I tell you right now, if you ask a doctor, it takes more energy and more muscles to frown than it is to smile. So don't waste your energy on the bad stuff.
That's right. I mean, if you're smiling, you stand on your head. That takes a lot of energy for that frown to look like so you got to stand up on your feet to make that frown look like a smile.
That's right.
All right, my friend. You're just a little clip on here, and everybody got to hear you. So
cool, man. Well, everybody stay safe, be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
All right, later, my friend.
Later, buddy.
All right, we did it. I wasn't sure if I could, but we did it. Let me get this back. There we go. No, not Lucas. His other kid got a mini bike for Christmas, and if you go to it's not YouTube, but if you go to what is that called again? I'll tell you. If you go to TikTok, he actually got a short video with him riding that mini bike, and it's really cool. I don't know if I can share that. Let me see aloud. Let me see if I can share that. Oh, I may not be able to do this because I'm actually I'll do it after the show. I'm gonna try to somehow stick that into my YouTube. All right. Now I'm trying to get out of here. Uh, all right. I don't know how the hell you get out of here now. Unless I do it this way. Uh, I'm not getting. Oh, here we go. I got it now. There we go. I'm back on YouTube now. Oh, the American dog poop. Oh, I don't know why you said dog poop for, but Sean, hi from Maryland. Hope you are doing good and getting well. Keep on trucking. Absolutely. Maybe he thinks my show is dog poop. I don't know. Maybe it might be to some, but still enjoy doing it, you know. A smile is best in life. It is. Trucker James pranked little guy, but God, okay, God pooped on the truck door handle. Okay, I got it now. I got it. That's what he's talking about. Okay. Trucker James pranked little guy and put God poop on the truck door handle. LOL, true. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Oh. Well, we're going to get out of here shortly. So I want to thank you guys for being a part of this. If you're not subscribed to us, it doesn't cost anything, no money, no nothing like that. But better and better things will come. I promise. We're not always going to be sitting in a rocker chair in a room doing a live show. We're going to do a few more of these if that's okay. But we're not always going to be doing that. We're going to be back. Will I be back in a truck? Yes, I will. Just a matter of time. But we're going to find something before that because I can't sit here 3 more months till I can. I got to find something to do. So whatever I'm doing, I'll be showing you guys. I'm not going to hold nothing back. I'll be showing you guys what I'm doing. And but if you're not subscribed to us, please subscribe. I'm losing subscribers, honest. I think it said I lost because since I had the heart attack, I lost 92 subscribers. I'm not gaining any, but I don't want to get below not back below 10,000 because listen, guys, I know you guys never signed up for this. You guys signed up on my channel because I did drive truck, but we will be driving a truck again. That I promise you. I can't be doing it right now. So if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button for us. That would be great. Let them walk. They are not fans. You're right. You're right. That's true. But I remember there's channels that I actually subscribed to, and because they had to quit driving truck, did I unsubscribe from them? Not right away. I just wanted to see what was going on, and did I stay subscribed? Maybe not, because maybe I didn't sign up for that. But now, like I said, I didn't know I was going to have this heart attack. I had no clue, you know. I could have very well died on the table, and then Mom could have probably took the video of my death and probably in a funeral home and me in a casket and them shutting the casket saying the end. Jukebox ain't here anymore. And that, my friends, would probably get me about 50, 60 subscribers because of a death. Well, I'm not going to die just to get subscribers. I'm alive. I want to celebrate that and say I'm alive. So let's get some subscribers. If you guys know anybody that likes the Trucker Jukebox and wants to watch us, spread the word. Hit the subscribe button. And if you guys have any ideas for any future shows, live shows, all you got to do is text me. That's all you got to do. Go to my Facebook, whatever, and say, I would love you to talk about this or whatever. And hey, I have nothing to lose. Let's do it. We'll do whatever. If you have any ideas, let me know what it is. I'll get the ideas from you because I sometimes run out of ideas. And that's the truth. I do sometimes run out of ideas. Like calling Matt. I didn't think about doing that, but you know what? That worked. That worked. And he did answer. He did answer. Number one, a channel is about a person and not always what they do. That's right. Maybe my channel membership. I would try that, but I'm not going to charge anybody for coming in here. And if I'm afraid to say it on regular YouTube, I don't need to put it on a membership. Just you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Not going to charge you guys to go in there and watch a membership. I mean, it's not that I don't need the money. Who doesn't never need the money, right? But I just don't want to charge you guys. So it's always going to be a free video. Always going to be a free video. Not everybody can afford that. And does that make any sense? Not everybody can afford to pay for a membership. I mean, right now, I couldn't if I wanted to be a member on somebody's channel. I'm not working. I'm not saying I don't have money in the bank, but hey, I'm supposed to watch that money now because I don't want mom and Tom to have to pay for something for me, So there's no way I could pay for a membership right now. You keep busy with the radio channel, and the radio will actually make an income for me. As soon as I get this damn thing figured out, we'll get it figured out. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. And give me a couple days and we'll do another live show. I promise you that. Because I ain't doing much. Oh, I got the GoPros. I'm actually charging up the GoPro 6 right now. So I'm going to be able to show you some GoPro. And there'll be some editing on that, of course. So stay tuned for that. Because we got the chargers and everything for the GoPro. So we'll make that work. But anyway, with that being said, God bless you guys. And we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Later.